What's up, good people? Hopefully, y'all feeling good today. Okay, so I'm back with another recap for what went down on Baddies USA this past Sunday. Okay, so we on the episode 12. Okay, I would like to call this episode Dolly wore her boots. Okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa! I got my boots on the ground. Dolly put boots to ass this episode. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it, right? So the episode picks up where it left off from. Y'all know how they like to preview little fights and shit before, and then we get to see what actually happened after. And let me tell you, it was anticlimactic, okay? So Dolly rushed Tinka as soon as she got on the bus. Both of them hoes went tumbling like Humpty Dumpty down the hill, okay? So they went flipping down the stairs. I can't really call it who won. I couldn't see shit. Only thing I seen was a whole lot of ass, okay? Between Dolly's ass and then Tinka's ass everywhere. Like, Tinka has ass on top of ass. I never knew that. I never seen some shit like that in real life. Like, ass on top of ass, okay? So, all of that goes tumbling down the stairs, okay? Tinka ends up with her wig gone. Dolly ends up with her wig gone. And by this point, Dolly is on something serious of a beast mode, okay? So, anywho, it's a whole lot going on this first 10 minutes of the episode, right? While Tinka and Dolly is tumbling down the stairs, Mariah takes this opportunity to go over and confront DJ Scott. Now, what I said last episode about DJ Scott, bitch, I politely take that shit back, okay? I said that Mariah should have slapped you for the way that you were looking at her. But based off this conversation, you should have slapped the shit out of Mariah, okay? Because first of all, bitch, don't you bring your little Minnie Mouse ass over here and just start squeaking in my face about some shit that happened fucking forever ago. Like, at this point, we're on a new day, bitch. We finna travel, go somewhere else. Like, bitch, you still got that on your chest? Please. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that serious, okay? But then DJ Sky explains to Mariah that it was a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? As far as like people telling her different things. And I know that it got to be chaotic when you got all that going on. You got, you know, the producer or whoever's paying you telling you one thing. And then you got the damn artist coming up telling you one thing. It probably was a whole lot going on. I could give her that. Okay. She did seem sincere in the fact that she wasn't intentionally trying to like fuck over Mariah. But, the way that Mariah kept barking, I would have just slapped her. I mean, bitch, don't come over here trying to act like you just gonna do all of this and do all of that. Ain't no way in the hell I could be DJ Scott. Bitch gonna sit up there and just tell me what all they gonna do to me, but they gonna spare me because they think that I'm pussy. That is the most disrespectful shit ever. But I don't know. DJ Sky is a different breed of a person or something. I don't know. So anyway, she takes an opportunity and walked the fuck off from Mariah. Oh, God. I was like, yeah, DJ Sky, owe you an apology, girl, because all of that was not. And speaking of mounts, why the fuck was on the mat looking like Minnie Mouse or some type of rat in the fucking confessionals? I've never seen the likes of it. Like, I get it, y'all all want to be unique and different, but okay. So, anywho, back to Dolly. At this point, Dolly is on beast fucking mode. Next thing you know, the scene flips and Biggie almost get kicked in the pussy. Okay? And let me tell you how that happened. So, Summer was just standing there at the edge of the door, getting ready to walk on the bus. I didn't see her say anything or do anything. She was just standing there, I guess. And then next thing you know, is a foot comes from between Biggie's legs and lands on Summer's head.
Ooh. Bye.
So Dolly in her boots. Whoa, whoa, I got my boots on her head. Dolly put the boots on Summer's head, okay? She kicked the fuck out of that girl. And I'm like, oh. But I didn't know what was more disturbing, okay? The fact that she almost kicked Biggie in the pussy, or the fact that, hell, that would have been 2 birds with 1 stone. Kick Biggie in the pussy and kick Summer. That'd have been 2 birds with 1 stone. Fuck, it would have been funny. I wish she wouldn't have missed and just hit both of their ass. Yeah. Now, I mildly felt bad for Summer because she, poor thing, didn't just. They made it on the bus, and at this point, Dolly going the fuck off. Summer just sitting up there looking like, we're not friends. Yeah. Girl, whatever the fuck be having Summer animated, she needs to get back on that shit because, whoa, like if I never wanted to invoke the ratchet out of Summer, at this point I wanted to invoke the ratchet out of her because, bitch, you could tell that that kick to the head from Dolly really fucked Summer up for a second. It hurt her feelings. Like, you can tell. I felt bad. Slightly. Anywho, here go Lex. Dolly, I don't think she meant to kick. She didn't meant to kick Summer. Dolly, did you mean to kick Summer? Dolly said, yeah, I meant to kick that bitch. I meant what I said. Listen, Dolly then at that point proceeds to go off about fuck my alarm. Y'all hear that in almost every video. I'm so sorry, y'all. I got to do something about it. Whatever. Dolly proceeds to spaz out because at this point she's making it known like, okay, now we're starting to see a little bit of feelings about it. You feel me? Because at first it was just like Lex, like, you know, Lex's little feelings was hurt about the breakup of the friendship or whatever. But now we get to see that Dolly, it affects Dolly too. Like, she been playing hard this whole time, but at the end of the day, bitch, we see that your feelings hurt too. Like, okay, it's cool. But she just a little tougher. You feel me? So at this point, she don't have it. So she letting it be known how she really feel, really feel. Anyway, so she going out telling Summer, oh, bitch, you over there, you down there talking to Tinka, bitch. You supposed to be slapping Tinka, bitch. Why you ain't slap? Why you ain't do what you said you was gonna do, bitch? You over there, you supposed to be slapping Tinka, bitch. You supposed to be striking her for what she said, bitch. So Summer like, I like Tinka. Bitch, since when you like Tinka, bitch? You fake. You fake. Dolly spaz out, okay? And now, in the midst of all of this, we have to see Smiley with her fucking, I don't even know what the fuck you call her confessionals at this point. Do you call them shits exotic or erotic? Like, I don't fucking know. Like, what the fuck you call that? Because, bitch, she is screaming for attention. She really one of the people that you have to... Smiley, why the fuck you got that thing on your forehead like that? Like, I'd be damned if you trendsetting. Because, bitch, if I walk around here dressed like a garbage can, a bitch with a third eye, or a Tonka truck, whatever the fuck she was dressed as one time. Girl. Maybe she really got problems here. They say the girl kind of crazy. She probably is. But I can't talk shit. I got little issues too. But I would be damned if I walk around looking crazy like that. The fuck? Tinka, I'm gonna need you to step to the front real quick. Because, bitch, how did you let Dolly kick your ass in the head like that? Like, literally, she's standing right there, maybe a good 2-3 feet away from Dolly. Bitch, you see the bitch staring at the top of your head. Why the fuck was you like not on guard? Because the way Dolly kicked the fuck out of Tinka, it was ridiculous, child. So next thing you know, they standing up there, the security guard standing up there, like everybody looking a little lost for a split second. Smiley trying to get people to start playing games and cards and shit. Tinka looked like she was trying to catch her motherfucking breath. And next thing you know, Dolly kicked the fuck out of her. So then her and Dolly started back fighting, okay? Now, they went a couple of more rounds, and to be honest, only thing I seen was a whole lot of grabbing. I seen Dolly doing not Dolly, but Tinka doing a whole lot of fucking grabbing. Like, she did say in her confessional that her hand was broken. Her fingers was broken or something along those lines, which was probably why she did all that grabbing and not too much swinging. But the way she was pulling on Dolly, it was like she was trying to pull the color off of Dolly's skin. I kid you not. She had the bitch in the chokehold, grabbing her. Then she was grabbing, pulling on her arm. I'm like, bitch, just swing. Just swing. Fuck it. Your hand already broke. Just fucking break the rest of it, okay? I'm just playing. I'm just playing. But, child, it was a whole lot of chaos going on, okay? So after the Lex and Dolly fight, I mean, not the Lex and Dolly, but the Tinka and Dolly fight, we fuck around and we see Big Lex holding the fucking camera. You got Biggie. Oh my God, Biggie. Biggie pissed me the fuck off. I mean, like, she was doing a whole lot in this scene. It's already a lot going on the bus. So Biggie decides to get excited and overdo it when one of the girls fucked around and knocked the taco on the floor. So she calls Natalie, like, look, bro, they dropped the taco. I'm in the paint, bro. It's like Vietnam, War 3 over here, bro. Like, it's so much going on, bro. I'm like, what the fuck? So this girl gets on the phone, calls up Natalie, has Natalie on FaceTime, and sitting up here going off talking about how she don't want to be on the buzz, just being extra and fucking berserk. At one point, you see Fauna yelling at Biggie like she wanted to slap the life out of her, and I really wish she would have. That'd have been a good time to slap a bitch, okay? That'd have been prime opportunity to slap a bitch, okay? Because Biggie was just doing extremely too much. We had to watch her as fucking act retarded for about 2-3 minutes straight. Y'all could have clipped her out. Y'all really could have clipped her out, Zeus. That wasn't necessary. Okay. So then going off on Summer. Okay. So she started telling Summer how Summer a fake ass bitch. Both of them going back and forth, and at this point they hitting low blows because they exposing each other business. Okay. So Dolly talking about how fucking Summer do powdered donuts. Summer's talking about how Dolly on pills and this, that, and the third. So like they really going they really hitting low blows with each other. So at some point Cold Killer gets mad. Like Cold Killer say, well bitch, y'all was never motherfucking friends from the jump. Like, look at this. I'll never talk about my bitch like that. Me and my bitch fall out. You'll never hear me talking about my bitch business. Like, both of y'all hoes fly as fuck. And while she did have a point, like, literally, girl, this was between Summer and Dolly. It had nothing to do with you. But I do understand what she meant and how she felt. Because everybody sitting there looking at that situation probably was thinking the same shit. Like, y'all bitches was never really friends. But with that being said, I don't agree about them not being friends. I feel like they was friends, and I think that's why this situation is so deep as it is, and why those ass whoopings that Summer has earned is coming, that she gonna get. That's why that happened, because these girls really cared about Summer as a friend. Like, they had to have built some type of bond. They was friends out for 2 seasons. And not only that, they was friends outside of the show. So it's like, it's not like these girls wasn't really friends. I just think that the way that, like, for example, Lex was quicker to show emotion about them not being friends than Dolly. Doesn't mean that Dolly didn't give a fuck or was never really friends with them. It just means that she just a little harder, put on a harder front than Lex did about the whole situation, okay? And you can tell that it affects all three, because even when Dolly kicked the fuck out of Summer, she was confused. And you can look at Summer and tell that it hurt her feelings. Shit like that don't faze you if you ain't never care about a bitch. Like, if Summer ain't never give a fuck about Dolly, she would have been trying to fight Dolly. Like, she would have been trying to fight anybody else. Like, right then and there. She didn't try to fight Dolly when Dolly kicked her. No, she didn't. Okay? And the same thing with Dolly. Like, Dolly is overreacting, showing all this emotion because she do give a fuck. So, again, I don't agree that these girls wasn't never friends. I just feel like it's fucked up how things ended. And I think that at this point, Summer don't nitpick so much to now shit getting down is ending real bad. It's like you watch a couple that have a really good relationship, but then the divorce turns out to be like the worst fucking thing ever. This is similar, okay? This is very much similar. So anyway, another thing I agree with too, I do agree with Cold Killer on the fact, like, bitch, y'all, it doesn't matter. If you was my friend, I would never sit up there and just tell every fucking dark secret that I ever known about you. Because more than likely, I told you shit too. So it's like, bitch, when you tell people certain shit, it's from my mouth to your ears, nowhere else. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this is what y'all do. I could never be cool with neither one of them. Neither one of them. Because look what the fuck y'all doing. Y'all do it to each other. Y'all do it to me. I'm just saying. So anyway, Dolly gets mad because Cold Killer put her little 2 cents in about the whole situation. So she catch Cold Killer slipping and sneak the fuck out of Cold Killer ass. How the fuck Cold Killer didn't see that coming? Once again, Dolly is on one, because Dolly is macking all these hoes left or right. So Dolly goes over and macks the fuck out of Cold Killer. So them two start fighting, okay? Which wasn't really much of a fight, because the security guard kind of immediately broke that shit up. But then shortly after that, Cold Killer was able to sneak Dolly ass back, because at that point the security broke up the fight between Dolly and Cold Killer, but then Tinka started back trying to argue with Dolly. So next thing you know, while Dolly's distracted, Cold Killer got her lick back. Okay, so I just called that shit fair and square, and that was a mean ass sneak. So she did that. She did that. That was a mean ass sneak when she stole off on Dolly ass. Okay. So anywho, them two, Dolly and Cold Killer, goes to going back and forth. At this point, they trying to hit for the low blows, but I just feel like Dolly, I don't know, Dolly just must have been tired of trying to read a bitch, because she just went to going super fucking low, but not as low as she will get later in this episode. But she did start going low with Killer, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like with Killer, there's so many things that you could say about Killer. Like, she had started to try to read Killer a little bit about her situation with Marissa and the baby daddy. But then Cold Killer said something to Dolly about what the fuck, about her nigga or something like that. Some nigga she be smoking wet. And mind you, motherfucker said it was about cigarettes. I heard somebody saying that when Cold Killer mentioned the cigarettes, that she was talking about like literal cigarettes. I think the cigarettes that Cold Killer was talking about was cigarettes that they laced with drugs. Like, some crackheads do that. Let me stop. But I'm from the hood, so I know people who boom they cigarettes. Like, they put fucking Molly in a cigarette or whatever the case is. That's what I think that she was talking about, because she said wet cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? Certain shit we can't say on YouTube, but that's why I think Dolly got so mad. Because, bitch, if you talk, it's one thing to talk about a bitch smoking cigarettes. Okay, fine, fuck it, whatever, it's my lungs, bitch. But she talked about a particular type of cigarette. I think people miss that. A child. So then next thing you know, see, like I said, at this point, Dolly's on the fucking rampage. She is going the fuck off on berserk, okay? Oh, she got her boots on the ground. Yes, them boots, them Timbs. That bitch went crazy in them Timbs. Okay, so next thing you know, Dolly just started blurting out, talking, just randomly talking shit like, bitch, y'all tomorrow I be picking and choosing. Bitch, I don't fought Tasiki. I don't fought Ivory. I ain't scared neither one of y'all hoes to do. And so Tavy said something slick like, speak for yourself or something like that. Once again, bitch, hit dog holler, because ain't nobody was talking to you in particular. You could have just let Dolly have that and not said nothing like everybody else, bitch. Just let her have it, because she already fucking talking shit. Just let it have it. You didn't have to answer that cat call, okay? And that's what she did. She said her little slick shit, and Dolly said, I said what I said. And so Tavy like, I said what I said. Next thing you know, Dolly went across her motherfucking head, and it was right and justified, because, bitch, mind your business. Okay, if nobody was talking directly to you, you could have just let her have that. Like, for real. You see the bitch already mad. She got on her Timbs. She's going Timberland crazy. So you should have just let her have that. I'm just saying. Especially if a bitch ain't talking to me. I ain't got no smoke, bitch. I don't give a fuck what you got going. But if it ain't got nothing to do with me, I'm going to stay my ass over here in the corner. Understood? Understood. So at this point, the girls are in Detroit. And the first thing we see is Natalie going in with a meeting with, I guess, one of the owners from the Backpack Boys. Okay, so those of you who are not familiar with that brand, they're basically they basically sell medicinal products. Okay, so anywho, Natalie has her Baddie blunts, and she has a partnership with them. So doing this little scene, we get to see her like kind of like initialize a business interaction between Rhodey and Janelle so that they can sell their products through Backpack Boys and do like some sort of collaboration. And y'all, I love this, okay? Stuff like this I love to see. I want to see, like, I've not said this, if you guys go back and watch my recaps from like Baddies South and stuff like that, that was one of the main things that I was upset about, because I was like, I really want to see these girls, like, how y'all get the bag. Like, y'all was talking about the bag, but I want to see, like, how the work go. Like, you know what I'm saying? How you girls go about doing your things and, things like that, okay? We don't always have to see y'all beat each other's to fucking shreds and smithereens, okay? So, anyway, that was nice to see. And then we get so then Tommy comes in and she joins the girls. Now apparently Tommy just left the meeting with the mayor. She comes in and looked the fuck good, all classy and demure, you know, that type of stuff. And so anyway, she comes in and they kind of talk a little bit about the situation with Rolly. Rolly was telling Tommy, like, bitch, you punched me in my nose. And then you was choking me. And here go Natalie. Yeah, she did the same thing to me. She does this to me all the time. Like, okay, cool. But if you ask me, it kind of annoyed me a little bit because it was kind of like, Natalie is kind of like downplaying it. It doesn't help the fact that Tommy basically was kind of like whatever about it. Like, ha, 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 he, he. She still didn't offer up an apology. So I can see why Rolly was irritated with her or whatever the case is. But, you know, it is what it is. The girl didn't do it on purpose. Okay, fine. But she just ain't got no people skills or some shit. The bitch narcissist or something. And so they talk a little bit about Biggie. And then they go into the whole Dolly situation or whatever. Nothing too serious, y'all. So then we get a scene from Tasiki, Suki, Sapphire, and then Jayla and Scotty come and join them. Now, Scotty got a bone to pick with Natalie, apparently, because she feels like the disrespect with Natalie has went too far. Now, apparently, when her and Jayla were in Milan, Natalie went on live and was ranting and talking shit. Now, I think she was getting into it with Lenny, or I don't know what the case was, but Scotty and her dog was brought up in the conversation, so Scotty feels like, bitch, every time you get into it with somebody, you always find a reason to make me a problem. Like, you always throwing me in it and this, that, and the third. She also says that she feels like Natalie definitely feels a certain type of way about her relationship with Lenny. AKA, she's jealous. These hoes be mad. Okay? And then she goes on to say, like, once she had the baby, she feels like the disrespect with Natalie won't stop. And she feels like Natalie's going to disrespect her and her child. Girl, you are right to feel all of these things, okay? Now, here's the thing with me. I feel like Natalie is... I don't know if you can call it jealous, but then again, it could be some sort of envy and jealousy. And it could piss Natalie off because it's like when Natalie brought Jayla in, Jayla wasn't supposed to have superseded Natalie in comforts. Okay? Now, Natalie has accomplished a lot in her life, but she has clearly been in the trenches and worked her way up. Okay? Scotty pretty much came in, got lucky, fucked the right nigga. Now she pregnant with the nigga baby. So it's like, who happens to be Natalie's boss. I do feel like there is some envy in that because from her perspective, she may feel like Scotty just came in there and got it easy and she's feeling herself. Maybe she does feel a type of way about that. And a small part of me understands that. But at the same time, it's like, okay, if y'all really ain't gonna fuck with each other, just establish that line. Like, if you feel like there's no comeback for y'all friendship, establish that line and keep it there. Okay, so that way I ain't got time to be feeling in my feelings, feeling like you shading me, feeling like you may be doing some shit behind my back. No, bitch, because if it got to a certain point and we just ain't there, we just ain't there. Okay, now this kind of reminds me of the Summer situation. This is why partially I can respect Summer a little bit because she did establish the line and say, hey, we're not friends. Okay, cool. But some bitches will sit there and pretend to be your friend and know they don't like you. And I think that is the worst kind. So yeah. But yeah, girl, stand on business. Do what you gotta do. And then Jayla, her with her. Oh, I've known Natalie for about 15, 20, 30, 40, 55 years. And I've known Scotty for about 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 10, 13, 45 years. And bitch, okay, cool. Who cares? Not us. Not us at all. And besides, Natalie is unfortunately not a good friend. Wasn't a good friend to you too. But I'll keep the rest of that to myself and maybe save that for another day. Ciao. Now, at this point, the girls are at the locker room. Okay, so they're at some type of restaurant. And Natalie's having like a Taco Tuesday situation, get together, gathering or whatever, whoop de whoop. But I'm with Janelle when she said that it was too much space and opportunity. It was too much space. And that made her feel uncomfortable. Maybe they did that on purpose. I don't know. But I'm watching the girls kind of turn up a little bit. And then I look over in the corner, Dolly ass in the corner with two braids going straight back. The bitch got on them boots. I know she is up to no good. So anyway, Rolly goes over there to try to get Dolly, kind of in a little groove, because Dolly over there, clearly her energy and her aura is black. It's like clouds around her, like pitch, scary. So Rolly goes over there to try to lighten her load, you know what I'm saying? Try to ease up, get her smiling a little bit. Dolly said, man, I ain't trying to have fun. I'm trying to fight. Clearly, bitch. You're sitting up there with your fucking war gear on, bitch. You look like you ready to go put a stump of your foot so far of a bitch ass that they taste toes for the rest of their life. You look like you ready for trouble, okay? No shit. Anywho, maybe Rolly perhaps got her to let her guard down at some point, but I don't know, because Cold Killer was over there in that cut in those little bushes, and she was watching Dolly, okay? And so she happens to feel like Dolly needed her ass whooped. So she beat Dolly like a runaway slave with that belt, okay? And it was the most funniest and horrific thing I've ever seen. I ain't never seen a grown person get beat their ass beat with a belt like that. But she got her ass beat, okay? Belt to ass. Now, they did play a little clip of Dolly when her and Cold Killer were going back and forth on the tour bus. Dolly was saying some foul ass shit. But if y'all thought that was foul, she continued to say more fouler shit in the process of all of this drama and all of this. But I ain't gonna lie though, Dolly act like she wasn't fazed at all about being beat like a runaway slave. I mean, she did whoop Cold Killer ass 2 rounds if I'm not mistaken. But wow, Dolly was having fun being a fucking demon, okay? Anyway, like I said, Dolly was being a demon. She was saying the worst gutter shit she could possibly think of to say about Cold Killer Child. Now, she could have read Cold Killer for filth about anything else. But to go there, bitch, you really ran out of shit to say, huh? That shows your lack of intelligence. That shows a lot. But yeah, she wasn't afraid to take it there. Now, everything else she snapped about this day in particular, I'm not mad at her for. I feel like every fight that she had was well deserved. But for what she said about Cold Killer Child, that's a hell nah to the nah, okay? Now, with that being said, it got to the point where Dolly called out Tavy Baby too. Dolly said, bitch, I want my rounds with all y'all hoes. So her and Tavy went for a round, and I ain't gonna lie, that was a good ass motherfucking fight. Like, they both was sticking it to each other. I'll call it even. I'll call that round the top, because to be honest, like, both of them was bop bop baka buka 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 buka. Blah 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 blah. What's her face? Dolly ended up leaking Tavy Baby's mouth, but then again, at this point, it seemed like Tavy get very easily injured. Like, I'm not, no cap. Bitch, you need to take some Geritol or something. I don't know. Her and Dolly both, to be honest. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I did feel bad for Big Lex, Like, it seemed like she was overwhelmed, especially when Dolly went to going off about Cold Killer's daughter. Like, you could tell, like, it disturbed the fuck out of Big Lex hearing, Dolly talk like that. So she goes and attempts to pull Dolly outside, to have a conversation with Dolly or whatever. But, I feel like the whole, just everything, I feel like at this point, Lex started getting overwhelmed, okay? Now, while Dolly was outside, a couple of the other girls came out and were talking to her, and the next thing you know, Summer pulls up. Now, I ain't gonna lie, her pull up was kind of hard, though. I ain't gonna lie, like, that bitch pulled up. She did that shit, though. She pulled up. She said, bitch, you want to see how dirty the D get, bitch? You want to see how dirty the D get, bitch? So, she pulls up, and she brings, like, a posse of people with her. And so they attempt to jump Dolly, okay? So while Summer and Dolly's over there fighting, you see Lex, I seen Lex clear as day, like, run off to the side, because she was trying to stop, whoever from getting to Dolly or whatever the case was. She was over there trying to break it up. Now, thankfully, the security were able to gather. From what I could see, was at least 3 people that were able to kind of get in there and fight around a little bit, but the security was able to clear the house pretty quickly, I'd say. And so Dolly and Summer squared up again. And I ain't gonna lie, like Dolly got Summer both rounds. Okay. Yeah, she definitely got Summer as both rounds. Okay. So the episode pretty much goes off with that fight between Dolly and Summer. But it looks like no. Ooh, y'all, I am no, listen. So anyway, like I said, when all the fighting started, the security guards grabbed everybody that, like grabbed people, squared them away or whatever. Lex started getting in her feelings, right? She was really like over there, like keep getting emotional and stuff. So a few of the girls went over there to comfort her, right? So then Tasiki goes and tell Dolly, she's like, Dolly, your friend is over there crying. Your friend is over there crying. So Dolly said, what, Lex? Lex over there just mad because Summer ate her pussy. Like, man, like, you mean to tell me that Dolly was the one that threw that out there? So they go back over. Tasiki goes back over and asks Summer, like, did you eat, tell Summer what Dolly said? And Summer dumbass, she just basically falls right into it. She goes, yeah, I ate her pussy and she ate mine. And the way that she said it to Rolly and the look on Rolly's face, it's like, Rolly, you know what's up. You been knowing what's up. Girl, you been knowing what's up, Rolly. You know it's something over there, you know. But anyway, child. Now, next episode, we see Lex confronting Summer. And also getting Summer. And there's going to be, I guess, a conversation with Natalie and Scotty. And from the looks of it, I don't think that conversation is going to go anywhere. And I don't know if you guys watched my previous videos, but as I've said before, when it comes to Scotty and Natalie's relationship, I feel like they just need to cut ties with each other and stop trying to fake it and thin veil it and just cut ties. I mean, if they are where they are, they just need to cut ties. Okay, they're at different places in life, and it's okay if you grow apart from your friend. It doesn't always have to be an animosity. It doesn't have to you don't have to still be around a bitch because you really don't have a reason to not like them, but you don't like them. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just rather cut a bitch off. And then also, another thing, Natalie's going through a lot in her personal life as well. So I don't think she would be more receptive to really hearing Scotty voice her grievances. You understand? Like, I don't think she'd be receptive at this time. Okay? So, anyway, child, this episode was real good. Like I said, whoa, Dolly got her boots on the ground. Yes, Dolly was around here stumping and fighting. Okay? This bitch fought everybody. She fought Tavy. She kicked the fuck out of Summer and fought Summer. She fought Tinka. She fought Cold Killer. Like, she was on one this episode, y'all. She definitely turned it up.